On the 24th of May 2014, a pregnant woman walked into Kenema Hospital in Sierra Leone. She was the country's first Ebola case. The mother survived, but she lost her baby. In the 12 months that followed, 4,000 more lives were lost. Ebola emerged in southern Guinea in December 2013 and spread to Liberia. It killed more than 11,000 people in West Africa. Although the continent's health systems were under pressure, the Ebola crisis had provided decisive lessons for Africa's emergency response and surveillance strategies. In the aftermath of this crisis, the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention was formed to help build the continent's capacity to respond to the threat of infectious diseases. Nestled within the African Union, the Africa CDC has been crucial in galvanizing swift action against other public health emergencies such as Ebola and Lassa fever in Nigeria.
The world should see Africa CDC as a strong expression of the intent of the continental leadership to take its health and security ownership and leadership into its own hands.
But another storm was coming.
Coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced.
Hard days that lie ahead.
A time of disruption.
And is wreaking havoc on the global economy.
There can be no half measures.
Within 2 months of its discovery in Wuhan, China in December 2019, COVID-19 had proven to be a menace. On the 14th of February 2020, the reality of the pandemic hit closer to home as Egypt reported Africa's first case. On March the 11th, 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. This was a new invisible enemy. The world grappled with health protocols and established fact from fiction. As the number of infections grew, countries around the world closed their borders and hunkered down. Only a few countries were capable of testing for the virus. Many others were running out of ventilators and protective equipment.
Hospitals being overwhelmed and no...
As the virus began its march across the African continent, health systems were hit hard and economies suffered.
And when we ran our numbers, what we saw was a particularly severe impacts on all of the continent. Of course, in Central Africa, it's mostly a commodity-based sub-region. So oil prices slumped. Angola is the poster child in that sort of category of countries. But in North Africa, we have Morocco, we have Egypt, which are tourism economies, Tunisia, all of that. But Egypt in particular, also with trade and the Suez Canal, where because of the interruption in global supply chains, trade in that region also slumped.
We remain worried. We are concerned even by the toll it is taking on people. People having to run across the border, back, wherever. People are just running in all directions. Nobody knows where to hide.
A continental partnership to build capacity was critical. Over the next 18 months, the Africa CDC would navigate this crisis through collaboration with African states, building trust of African leadership and key institutions, and trust of global players like the Mastercard Foundation. Next, a world of divergence. Africa collaborates and innovates in the face of an unseen enemy.